Hey, nerdlings!
What up, nerdlings?
Do you nerd for
LibraryCon?
LibraryCon is an annual convention right here in our hometown, put on by our library. And it's really fun because they do a lot of focus on local authors and artists, talent like that. Oftentimes they'll get in some vendors and everything, and they have panels. This time around, they started it off the night before with a special guest.
They did, and a pretty famous one at that.
Harry and the Potters.
How's everybody doing here tonight? Can I get everybody up on your feet and into the dance floor right here? Springfield! My name is Harry Potter.
My name is Harry Potter.
And we are Harry and the Potters.
When I was a baby, a teacher left me on the doorstep of my extended family. I was just a freaking baby.
There was a very fun concert held at the library of all places.
I know.
With Harry and the Potters. They do some wizard rock, and this was our first time ever seeing them.
That's right. I gotta let you know that we're going way down. And I ain't even talking about no basement.
First time ever hearing them, and they were a lot
They were
of fun.
so much fun. They interacted with the crowd, with the kids, with the adults. They had props. They had so many fun things.
Running around in circles, feeling like you're overdose. Accio flounder, accio lobster, accio bluefish, accio whitefish, accio prickfish, accio shark. You wanna touch the brakes, you wanna touch the brakes, you're wrong. Riding a dragon,
They had a lot of great energy. They even had a merch booth set up outside, and they had some really cool stuff. Something that I personally really thought was clever. They had all of their albums, all of their CDs for sale, and some albums on vinyl.
Yeah.
But then they also had this great little USB flash drive that looked like Hagrid.
Yes.
And it had all of their songs. Their entire discography was for sale digitally.
I found it in a lake.
The very next day was LibraryCon proper. We have been so excited about
Yes.
this. We've been having so much fun going to LibraryCon. We couldn't wait to
Yeah.
go back. As soon as we went inside, they had the whole main hall all set up. Their wonderful gift shop had all of their goodies out. The great people from VisionCon were on hand with their photo booth.
Just talking about superhero stuff, you wouldn't understand.
And we saw a buddy of ours, a local artist, author, who does a certain comic series.
Zombie Days!
The official drawing tool.
The official drawing, but with the official drawing pen.
So at VisionCon, we had picked up the very first issue from Stone Pie Media.
Yep.
You fell in love with that
I
immediately.
did. I fell in love with it, and so I said the next time we see them, I want to get the rest of the issues. And there's only 4 issues out at the moment, and he's working on number 5. So we were able to get issue number 2, number 3, and number 4.
And these are great.
They are.
Really are so much fun.
Yeah, if you get a chance to check out Zombie Day, definitely do it. It's a neat take, and we got him to sign these, so I'm really looking forward to number 5.
One of the things that we like to do anytime we're at a convention, if we have the chance, is to hit up all of the celebrity guests as early as
Yes.
possible, try to beat those lines.
Yes,
and
we do.
the first one we had to bother was Mr. Cullen Bunn.
Yes, we always look forward to seeing him at conventions, and we always try to look ahead to see if he's going to be at a convention because we go prepared, don't we?
Yeah, well, the man writes so much stuff that we kind of bring it one stack at a time. And fortunately,
Yes.
he's always ridiculously accommodating
He really
about
is.
signing the comics that you bring to him.
I love my Angel, and I love the Guardians of the Galaxy, so when I found out that they made a mashup of as Guardians of the Galaxy, I thought, hey, why not? So I got halfway through the series before I actually realized that Cullen was the writer of these. So this was a easy choice for me to bring this time. There was 10 issues. I had him sign all 10 issues. And I also had him sign my trade paperback of all 10 issues. But luckily he only had to do one signature on this one.
Now, just a quick note, as we had said, he's always really nice about signing as much stuff as you want. He's even said that online. The only thing that he always asks is if you have a large stack of stuff, he may kind of set you to the side to finish a little bit later if there are more people coming up. So keep that in mind.
And honestly, that never bothers me. So the other thing that I took to have him sign was my Venomized. So I love getting my trades signed.
Well, I had my own trade of Mr. Buns that I wanted signed. So number 1, Harrow County, and if you like your little more spooky under the skin stuff.
He loves to write his horror,
Oh, he
doesn't he?
does. And speaking of writing his horror, I had to have him sign the Vampirella versus Reanimator comics. Yeah.
But these are extra special.
Oh, that's right. Because guess who else signed them? The artist, Blackie Shepherd, who was also on hand. And one thing that made this one in particular very special, I went ahead and picked up the print. Now, he has 2 of these actually. One in which there's blood coming out of the statue's mouth, and I think I might like that one a little better.
I think that's the one we saw over at CaveCon.
Yes, but I went ahead and I got this one because it is just
does
like the
match the
comic.
cover.
So I was like, I may just have both of them in the collection.
And Blackie is, again, just like Cullen, super nice, super fun to talk to. We always look forward to seeing him at conventions and everything. So we were super excited to get to especially for these, to get the mashup done.
Now the funny thing is, Cullen brought along some more of his friends, and we picked up his latest book. Actually, I think it's his latest. I can't even keep up anymore.
I know. It's a nice anthology of a collection of different artists and writers going together and making a bunch of short stories in here. The fun thing about this one is actually Cindy Bunn, Mrs. Cullen Bunn, has a story in here. And so this was her first experience getting to sign books, and somebody else that was really neat in there. Do you remember who else was in there that was really cool?
Oh, you're gonna film it.
Gotta make sure it's legit. Oh, that would be Josh from the Comic Cave.
Yay!
And speaking of, anybody that we could find that was on hand, we did try to get their
Yes.
signatures. I think we got everyone, but we might have missed 1 or 2.
It was hard to keep up.
It was, but everyone was really nice signing that front flap.
I'm
Again,
so excited to sit down and read this one.
if you like your spooky stuff, this is the man right
Yes.
here. One last thing, just so you guys don't think this is the Cullen Bunn show.
It kind of is, though. I think he kind of took over.
Now, he actually had another group of people. These guys all teamed up, and they have Graveyard Slaughter coming out soon.
It'll be out in October, they said.
There's a very strong retro feel to it.
Yes.
It all takes place, or at least started with a video store.
And mostly taking place in the 80s, and they said, and like a good 80s horror flick, they plan to do 3, because there was always trilogies in the 80s, so we're very, very much looking forward to October, this book coming out, and then looking forward to the subsequent books.
The great Will Eisner once wrote, "Superheroes are not the future; superheroes are the past," and that is, it's, you know, I love superhero books. It's all awesome. I love writing that stuff, but support creator-owned stuff, support independent stuff, because this medium is dependent on it.
Yeah, and it's the best and most interesting comics that are being produced are, you know, small, independent, you know, creator-owned comics, because they're not being created by a round table group of people saying, you know, we need more of this and let's
We
get on the
just
board
said
line.
we sat around a round table.
One of the last things we have to say about Cullen is him.
That's what I mean. He took over.
Him and a bunch of others were actually hosting another panel, and they had a lot of artists on hand who were doing
did.
a little bit of a challenge. Cullen would pick a theme, and then they started out with 5 minutes to draw it. And somebody complained that that wasn't enough time. So what did Cullen do?
We had a lightning round with 3 minutes.
Now, this was a lot of fun. They did everything from take your favorite breakfast cereal mascot and draw them as a serial killer.
There were some good ones. I think one of my favorites was Diggum's killing Tony the Tiger, and he was digging a hole to bury Tony the Tiger. I thought that one was pretty funny.
After all of the fun and the drawings were done, they had a raffle, and you could win one of the pictures. We actually scored 2 of them,
did.
since there are 2 of us.
Yes.
So we did get a serial killer. We got this fantastic
I know, it's great.
Captain Crunch.
And
Look,
he's got some pretty
oh my gosh.
pointy, bloody teeth.
He just
and his
looks
eyes
vicious.
all bloodshot.
I love it. And then another one that we got
This one was probably one of my favorites, actually.
the theme was draw the apocalypse and what you will be doing in it.
It's the apocalypse on dead.
Because he figured he'd be dead if there was an apocalypse. So he just drew the skyline all looking scary, and then he was just laying dead at the front bottom of the page.
So clearly they had a lot of fun.
It was so much fun to watch this. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad we stopped in on this panel.
We had our books signed. We had some new pieces of art to add to the collection. So we went ahead and took some stuff out to the car. And as we came back inside, this was the perfect time to take a little break and cool off. Kyle, there you are, standing next to an unlicensed proton accelerator.
Oh great, it's gonna explode.
Fortunately, the Mud House is on hand.
And, I gotta say, I know we said we were done talking about Cullen Bunn, but we're not actually done talking about Mr. Bunn, because he had a special drink there.
Yes, they had a themed drink called the Graveyard Slaughter, and I'm just gonna say, it was good.
It was so good. It was unexpected because it did have charcoal in it, so I thought it wasn't going to taste very good, but that coconut and caramel in there was just, oh man, it was so good.
By the way, they had dyed the caramel to look red, which was a nice touch.
It was a really pretty drink, actually. I kind of didn't want to drink it.
That doesn't taste like a graveyard at all, and I should know.
After we finished our drink, we moseyed out onto the con floor, and we did one of our most favorite things we love to do, which is just basically check out all the cosplays. We love looking at people and their cosplay and see what characters they've dressed up as. There were some really neat, elegant dressed Pokemon.
Were they maybe Victorian?
Victorian style, pretty dress, and so that was really neat to see. One of my other favorite things is there was a really good Deadpool walking around, and the kids were running up to him and loving him, which kind of makes me nervous why these little kids know who Deadpool is. But it was cute to see him taking this cutesy picture with a bunch of little kids around, so I thought that was kind of cute. One of my favorite movies growing up as a kid was The Addams Family, and I was super excited to see there was a Morticia and a Wednesday Addams there, and Morticia even had the tight dress on, so she barely could walk. She walked like this. It was really, really authentic. I loved it.
Something that I noticed a little different about LibraryCon was it seemed like there might have been a few less vendors. I didn't see the people that put on Dragon Fest. They were not in attendance there. And there were a few more of the craft booths, as well as a couple of writers and artists that we've seen there before that weren't back this year. To be fair, who knows what their scheduling is, and maybe they just couldn't make it there. And of course, I always love all the fantastic art prints, so not seeing as many art prints, I was a little let down by that, but there were still a lot of great creators on hand.
There was, but there was something new this year that hasn't been there in the past, to my knowledge, was the Lego people were there. The Lego Club was there, so I was super excited. And it was like VisionCon all over again. Except this time they had different displays. They had more book-related displays this time, which was pretty cool because it was really fun to see. Like, they had a little house with the wolf in front of it, and there was a pig inside, and they had some Harry Potter stuff up.
You know what was really clever that they had on display there?
Yes!
Their Alamo.
The Alamo.
And they had it set up to be playing a movie. The Lego movie, of course.
Of course.
I will tell you, nerdlings, if I couldn't find Lady Lacy, I knew where to look first.
Yeah.
Once again, something that I like that they carried over from the year before is they did have the nice large sheets of paper, and you could go in and actually write some recommendations on different kinds of books, different kinds of series to check out. And I always like how they do that because it is such a fantastic way in case you're into anime, but you want to know what's another series to check out. Right there, you got a bunch of names.
As you can see, this year we picked up, one of our pickups was a LibraryCon shirt. Now, I, unfortunately, sad face, couldn't get one this year. They didn't have, small, medium, large, extra large for adults, and they said that they're changing the design, so they just didn't order any more shirts this year. So I was kind of sad because I wanted a shirt this year, but maybe next year. But I did pick up from Better Together Creations some new ears.
Aw, those are cute.
What's that?
A scratch behind the ear.
So yeah, I thought I'd have a little fun with just a quick, easy cosplay of just, some fun ears to put on. Got me some ears.
We had an absolute blast at LibraryCon. We always do, and I'm already looking forward to next
It was
year.
over way too fast, and I just can't wait for next year.
It's so easy to go in there and just spend the day hanging out with all of these people, all of your nerdlings with the like-minded interests, to see all of these awesome creators, find some new books, find some new artwork, maybe find some little cat ears, stuff like that. Check out some cool panels.
Kyle didn't finish one. Kyle, tell us about your drawing.
It's got a cool attitude. It's a creature. It wants you to read. It thinks a lot of itself.
That's not positive attitude gets you through a lot.
It's really a great resource too, because they're very good about putting out little publications that let you know of upcoming events.
Yes.
We knew LibraryCon was coming. We did not know about Harry and the Potters until we saw their little booklet that had all of these upcoming events. Guys, if you ever get a chance, check out your libraries, because that may be a great spot to learn about events, activities, festivals, other things that are happening in your area that you may not have known about otherwise.
You know what else is great about LibraryCon and the library itself?
What's that?
There is 3 inns for Harry Potter Wizards Unite and 1 fortress. So when we had some downtime, I could get my Harry Potter on.
That was true. Anytime I would be busy looking at something, I would turn and there she was on her phone.
Not
Just
the whole time, but I had to save my stuff. I had to save confoundables, man.
All right, nerdlings, I would love to hear your comments down below, especially on any of the books. Maybe Graveyard Slaughter. Go check that out. See if it's something that you think you might be interested in. Come back, drop a comment, let us know what you think. Or if you get a chance to hunt down some Zombie Dave, you really should. And anything by Colin Bunn or Blackie Shepherd. So give the video a like if you happen to like it. Be sure to check your local library. You could be missing out on all kinds of cool stuff. Hit the notification bell. Make sure you subscribe, as well as...
Don't forget to like us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram so that you can see where we're going next, because we never know where we're going next. And go over to TeePublic, because we got merchandise over there, nerdlings. And if we like it...
We nerd it for LibraryCon! What do you think, Robert? Don't be so dense, Tom.
Okay, so when after our drink, we moseyed out onto the comic. Okay, ready?
So what do you think we should do for